All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Behind the Loo, episode 8. We have another special guest today. We have Jeffrey. Um,
Our NBA specialist.
Yeah, because we got some NBA talk. Talk about with the news about the
Never broke
Trailblazers
again.
deal. Yeah, the Portland Trailblazers have a deal with their stadium that's not going well, and then the LeBron signing, and then we'll get into our normal, Cardinal recap and other sports news. But Jeffrey, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, no problem. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So Jeffrey's actually down in Mizzou land, so he might come back for Tiger season. We'll see what happens.
So you're all the way in Columbia?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Can you tell by his crappy looking dorm? Doesn't it look like a dorm to you?
It looks like every other dorm, specifically ones in like Carbondale as well, because I know a bunch of those.
But
yeah, I know the poverty look when I see it. It's right there.
That looks like $40,000.
You got Batman Begins poster back there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, just got the posters up today for this actually. So
Nice.
Oh, he put the poster
just for this?
ultra bland. Yeah.
So, real quick to start this off, Jeffrey, how did you get into basketball? Because as someone who's lived in St. Louis and whatnot, we've had like maybe just the college teams and whatnot, but you're actually like NBA. You know those teams well enough and have followed the league pretty well.
Yeah, like I watched the league like every playoff game every year, like for a couple years now. But I think what really got me into it was just the whole like Cavaliers Warriors like dynasty feud, like
Cavaliers
for me it was like middle
2016,
school.
right?
Yeah, and like that just kind of
was
sparked
before
it for
that,
me
yeah.
'cause every year in the off season you knew what the finals were going to be the next season, which kind of it was weird. It was
I
a
kind
weird
of
time.
hated it, but I kind of loved it at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the league's kind of missing it now because it's like 8 straight new, like no repeat teams. But that was pushed to like the extreme. Like it just kind of made it horrible to watch. I don't know.
And was that like your main team
Yeah.
that made you get into it and whatnot? Like, are you a Cavaliers fan and whatnot?
Yeah, even still, even without LeBron. That's why I was rooting for the Cavaliers to be the team that he went just because makes more sense and like was the less ring chase play instead of the 76ers.
He's from Akron, right?
He was born in Akron, I
What do
think.
you-
And
Or Akron. Yeah, he's made it sound like in his Philly tweet, like release that he was a Philadelphia guy. I don't know what I read, but I was like, why is he acting like he has such ties with Philadelphia? I know he's got
The
that
only
weird
thing-
bald spot on his head that's like the Liberty Bell.
I saw that.
Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Seen me when it's like perfectly. I don't even know if it's like Photoshop, but there's like a.
I kind of wish
Liberty
it
Bell.
was. I kind of wish it was more of a Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's more of a.
The only ties I know he would
New
have
Mexico.
kind of had whenever he announced that he was going to the Lakers, his final 3 teams were to re-sign with Cleveland, LA, and then Philadelphia.
Right.
That's what he said when he went there.
I think that's what the final 3 teams he was down to when he went to the Lakers 8 years ago.
So he already knew before he even.
I don't know. I mean, the league was a lot different then. Like the Sixers had a much different core. I mean, they still have
Yeah.
Embiid, but
Except, I mean, I guess screw it. We're already talking about LeBron. Let's go into the LeBron talk.
Yeah, I figured it would just transition into it either way.
Yeah, because I don't understand why he's going to Philly. Why is he going to Philly? Joel Embiid is nothing to like be excited about. Like he's an athlete, but
he's great whenever he is on the court. But like,
yeah, he's injured all the time, right?
exactly, yeah. Like, as long as he's there in the postseason, that's kind of what Philadelphia is hoping for. He could play like 7 games all regular season, and if he's healthy and fresh and ready for playoff time, I think they would take that. But it is just such a like, there's no chemistry to this move. It's just like purely fueled for a championship, which I guess makes sense for his age. That should be the only thing you really.
But
I
is
don't
the
know.
Sixers the most apt? I feel like he'd be better off going into the Cavs.
They're 4th in their division, right?
Yeah, but
Sorry, I
isn't
didn't mean to cut
Donovan
that off.
Mitchell still in Cleveland? Like,
Yeah, the Cleveland would have had a good core. I think the 76ers, well, because they just got Jaylen Brown this offseason, which was their big splash play. And then they get LeBron for the 2-year, $8 million. That's just, I think that's the craziest part about it is he's taking a like crazy pay cut. He's
Yeah, I
making
don't know.
$50 million last year.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, see, that's why I don't understand. I'm like, are the Sixers
He could
really
have did that in
good?
Cleveland, and that would be a storybook ending championship. Or
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I don't
So.
get it. I want to know because like when he went to the Lakers, that's when he was doing Taco Tuesday, and that's whenever he started doing more like fucking movies and stuff like the Looney Tunes 2 or Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
Like he literally
Yeah,
made
that
Space
made
Jam 2
sense.
like right after
outside
going
of
to the
basketball
Lakers.
to go there.
So what's the business move of going to Philly? Like is
I
he
don't
is
know.
he like becoming a chef and got his
I know there's
killer cheesesteak idea that he wants to
Jake needs to
let
open his
everyone
3
know?
restaurants.
He's switching from Taco Tuesday to Philly fucking Fridays.
Philly Fridays, yeah.
Yeah.
Philly
Philly Friday. Five Nights at Freddy's. But Jaylen Brown came from the Celtics, though, right?
Yeah. He was the Finals MVP the year they won it all, like 2 or maybe 3 years now.
Because he's because it was Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now Jaylen Brown's gone. So, and I know he played really well with the Celtics.
Yeah.
So I do like that core, but you have an aging LeBron who
Their
is doing all
starting
that
five
load.
is great. Like.
Well, I don't really know the other two guys.
They have they have Embiid, they have Tyrese Maxey, and then VJ Edgecombe, who was one of the better rookies last year. And Tyrese Maxey is a great scorer, one of the fastest players in the league. Like it's
So they,
it's a
younger?
great starting five. Yeah, they're a super young team.
Okay, I was gonna say you need to balance out that age
Outside of
and that
Embiid and LeBron,
injury prone. Yeah, LeBron. I just don't get it unless
I
because
think
everyone
they're just
everyone wants to
buying
play with
into this
LeBron.
next year.
What do you think he's gonna be there more than just a year? Or do you think he's really gonna try and like?
I don't think so, but it was a 2-year contract with a player option in the middle, so I don't know what his like the way he breaks it down. I don't know.
Because
I think
what are you saying, Brennan?
I actually think that I don't mind the move to Philly, to be honest, because I know like Mason's kind of against it, obviously, but
I just think it's cheesy. This man's whole career is cheesy at this point.
I mean, it's cheesy like for the ring chase. I think I'd prefer him to go to the Cavs. I actually thought he was gonna go to Golden State more.
That would be that would be way worse.
I would
That
have
would be
hated
way
that.
worse.
I would have hated that.
I thought that was actually
personally.
gonna be the move.
That'd be instant villain arc.
But
Yeah.
I think the hometown move, not really hometown, but like, just like for his career, like to finish it off in Cleveland would have been great. But I mean, to finish it off with the ring's pretty good too, and I think the 76ers are probably the best bet to do that with, especially with the core that they have.
Yeah, I agree. I think they were definitely the closest to a championship out of the 5 teams.
But without Jaylen Brown, I don't think they are though, right?
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
There's people I talked to. I forgot where. Oh, it was Sir Phil, who has been on this podcast before. We were hanging out with his friends this weekend, and they believe that the Pacers are the next team. Like they think they're going to go crazy because I mean they're already pretty
They were
well.
in the finals 2 years ago. Yeah, 1 game away from winning.
But it makes sense that LeBron doesn't want to go to Indiana.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to go somewhere smelly, you might as well go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right? He's larger than life. He's got to go somewhere huge.
I think that's kind of why. So the final 5 teams he was down to was Cleveland, Philadelphia, Minnesota, Golden
was
State.
weird.
Yeah, Minnesota I thought would have been a decent shot at a championship, but not a big.
They just lost
market.
Cat.
Yeah, they lost him 2 years, and he just won a championship. So
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on in Minnesota. That's why I'm glad you're on here, Jeffrey, because I've been so despondent that the NBA is hard to watch before the playoffs for me.
yeah, no, that's fair. But
Not as bad as the WNBA. If you guys watched any of that,
the All-Star
did
game.
you guys see the low
Dude,
lights?
that highlight, oh my god. That was so pathetic. Like, that was probably one of the worst all-star things I've ever seen in my life. And I think Mason made a great point of, like, this is what kills, like, women's sports, is this lack of promotion or effort and care that the WNBA does. Like, because if you look at other, like, female major sports, PWHL is the main thing that I'm all for because, yes, hockey, but it's been, like, we've already had, like, very famous, like, women in NHL already who have translated it to the PWHL to promote it as much. Like the expansion with it too is crazy, and I'm just so disappointed that the WNBA is burying women's sports this bad.
Yeah, that's kind of where Sean's referencing. We saw that dumb low light video by that guy that's always screaming like, "Can you see this? It's a layup and he missed." I don't remember what that guy's name is. I'm sorry, but I'll try and link it if I make an edit on this. But um, it was so rough that it's to the point where I was like, I'm tired of like people like because we're not the guys that are like laughing at women's sports. I don't have a problem with women's sports. I have a problem with WNBA. Like that's such a joke. I watch anything all day. I watch softball. I watch tennis. I watch soccer. I watch PWHL. I
Women's
watch
hockey.
like women's flag football. Like I
You
watch it
also
all.
watch,
The WNBA
the,
is so
pickleball.
freaking bad. I watch the pickleball too, and I'm like a man of my word too. I've seen these live too and enjoy them. Like the WNBA is just, oh my gosh, what is going on there? Did you guys hear that Shaq said? I just heard this on the internet, so it might not be true. But Shaq said they should lower the rims for the girls. Did you guys ever hear this?
I think I've heard a couple people say that.
I mean, that could work too. Just make it more fair. I mean, like softball too. They have like smaller diamonds, I'm pretty sure, and like the bigger ball. Like do whatever. Like it's not that to me. It's not disrespectful. It's elevating the game and giving you more cred. So I don't know what the hell they got going on in the WNBA. I've never seen a larger disparity in like sports, co-ed sports, like whatever side you're on. The women's basketball is like the hardest to watch.
Besides Caitlin Clark.
Well, I think Caitlin Clark saved it for a while too, because I remember her being the biggest thing 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was going to start going more on the up and up too, with like really good prospects out of college, like her, Paige Beckers, Juju Watkins supposed to be coming up soon.
And Sophie Cunningham's a baller too. She's from Mizzou.
Yeah.
Do you know that, Jeffrey? Yeah.
Yeah.
She and then so with that, the Caitlin Clark was going to elevate the sport, and then all these girls for some reason have an ego, and didn't like her coming to the WNBA, and started like beating up on her and like wished the worst from her, and it's like, why do you guys have such a big ego when no one watches your fucking sport? And I'm hyperbolizing. But
what's that one girl's name that was like really against her?
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese. Oh my god, she is like this. She is a super villain. But the thing about Angel Reese, if I say shit on this podcast that pisses everyone off and everyone wants to slit my throat, like Angel Reese does that for the WNBA. So she is like the dark side of the WNBA. That's kind of like good because she's so fucking annoying and dumb and clippable.
Well, I mean, like every sport needs
actually really
a villain
good at advertising the sport. Yeah, and I give her that. Like, she is good at like driving a narrative or whatever, or like causing drama, but she is no good.
Well, I think with Angel Reese too, like, I think the problem is she's not good. She's not a good player. Like, she's horrible.
Yeah.
If she was a villain and she was actually good at what she did, I think it would be a little bit more acceptable. And I think they could market it better, but they can't really market her that well because all she is just the personality. She doesn't have the game behind that personality at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard she got 0 points in the All-Star game.
Which I don't even care about the All-Star game.
She had 0 points in the game?
That's what I heard. Am I a liar?
You could be.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I just seen like a lot of lowlights with Angel Reese. A lot. And they're bad. Like, they are like... I mean, it's like high school level bad from what I've seen. And I think that's the problem with the WNBA overall is just they don't have the talent for it. But, you know, you watch college basketball, like even women's college basketball, and that's way more entertaining.
Once you start getting to like the end of the tournament in women's college basketball, like it's great. Like it's fun to watch.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I don't understand what's the turnoff there, though.
I think it's just...
Is it because women's college basketball is more concentrated, so all the talent can be on fewer teams? And then whenever you go to the WNBA, there's too many teams and it's spread out and it's garbage? Like, what is it?
I think the WNBA's problem is just... I think it's trying... I think they've been better with this, but I think they tried so hard to be the NBA and tried so hard to replace it instead of embracing
That's
it.
crazy. Yeah.
Because I think,
Yeah.
I mean, it was never going to be the WNBA level. Like, we talk about the Battlehawks all the time. Like, I know it's not women's versus men, so it's a different conversation, but it's kind of the same premise of
Yeah.
it's a different league. They
Well,
need to
The
embrace
NBA
what they
pays
are.
for the WNBA.
Well, now they do, but back then they didn't. And it was that was their biggest like that was the biggest problem with them. And I think it's hard for these markets to really get involved in the WNBA because there's not many the markets that they're in. I don't even know all the teams that they have, but I think there's a pretty decent amount, and I don't think there's enough like fan engagement with those organizations that to really drive, the promotion of that league. And again, they don't have the talent overall to fulfill it.
Yeah,
So I
that's,
guess go ahead. Sorry.
that's what
I
I'd
was-
say is the biggest issue with like college and professional women's basketball is just like the like difference in talents with some of the players is just like insane. Like they're
It's,
especially even in college, like the first like round of the tournament is like practically unwatchable just because like you'll see some 60-point or higher wins in like a playoff setting.
Yeah, but
I
the
don't know.
the college is you kind of expect that though, because like there's
Yeah.
games like in March Madness that can be like that.
Yeah,
Like, maybe not that wide range, but there's still the appeal of it because it's college. It's more amateur level. When
Yeah.
it's becoming more professional, that's where it becomes a struggle. And I think basketball is like one of those sports where it's not like baseball or hockey or NFL or anything. It's a very like one person on your team can carry you. Like
Yeah.
overall, like two to three players can propel you to be in a championship level team. All those other leagues, you need a whole team stacked with rosters. Like not one or two guys is going to save you. So I think with basketball having that kind of element to it, and there's not many like players in the WNBA. Like there's good players like in women's basketball, but they don't elevate themselves to be that like superstar like Caitlin Clark has done. So
they should have transgender basketball.
No. Anyways, let's ask this question first. What do you think would
Wait,
be
I
into
have to bring it back. I think LeBron should join the Mystic.
Thank you,
That's
Mason.
his best chance at winning a
ring
championship.
chasing
If
the
you think about it.
WNBA.
Yeah, he just changes gender and he joins one of the WNBA teams, and he'd be legendary. No one will forget it.
Jordan hasn't done it.
Yeah, Jordan didn't do that. He can be
What a
above
comment.
Jordan and join your cause.
That's funny. So,
Legiz,
how about we transition to this?
Legiz James.
Which do you think would be in St. Louis first? A WNBA team, or now with the talk, an actual NBA team? What would be in St. Louis first?
well, it's gonna be one or the other. I don't think they'll do both. I think realistically a WNBA would
That's
make
what I was
more
gonna say.
sense.
That
Just-
probably is more realistic.
But to kind of give you guys background, because I know some of you guys aren't familiar with what's going on with the NBA talk to St. Louis, is there was an article I tried searching before we got on the name of that guy from Portland who wrote this article, but there was they're trying to do renovations at the Portland Trail Blazers arena that are not going well. They've had multiple propositions and they failed multiple times. And how this connects to St. Louis is Chaffetz. What's his full name, Mason? Can't remember. The Chaffetz guy.
I don't remember.
Oh well.
Mr. Chaffetz himself.
Yeah, we literally
Yeah.
call him Mr. Chaffetz whenever
Mr.
I'm at
Chaffetz.
work.
All right, so Mr. Chaffetz, he now
Richard.
is a
Dick.
Dick Chaffetz.
Dick
That's
Chaffetz.
that's a legendary name. But anyway, he
And then if you do his name last name first, it's Chaffetz Dick.
Dick.
Whose dick we shaving?
but he's now the co-owner of the Trailblazers after they did their sale last year, and Chaffetz has talked about multiple times, like this has been articles written for years now, where he wants to bring professional basketball to St. Louis, and whether that be the WNBA or the NBA. And I think I might be wrong on this, but I remember seeing an article where he was trying to do a bid for a WNBA team to be in St. Louis, but it didn't end up going through with the WNBA, which resulted in him becoming co-owner of the NBA team in Portland. So
So you
now
wanted
the
to do
talk
an
is
expansion?
he wanted to do an expansion of the WNBA, yeah, but I don't.
Oh, we're getting a little chop from Brennan.
Did I lose you guys?
I can hear you now. You're back.
Okay.
All right, quick talk.
But anyway, but now that he's the co-owner of the Trailblazers, now there's been speculation. There's been multiple articles from KMOV. Looks like this is David Amelodi that kind of broke down what it would look like and what how it compares to other markets. And I kind of wanted to go through it to see if you guys agree with it and what your guys' thoughts are overall. But before I get into that,
Yeah, I want to hear
wanted
stats before I get no emotion.
But just before we get into them, I wanted to hear from you guys what your reaction to what an NBA team in St. Louis would be like.
I'll let Jeffrey go
What would
first.
it be like?
Yeah, like how would you like it? Would you want it? And just things like that.
Jeffrey.
Sorry, I was the first thing I think of is if it would be the Trailblazers, like in Portland, Ja Morant just signed with the Trailblazers this offseason.
Oh, he
had
did?
all the controversy. Yeah,
He's a fucking.
I think it'd be
Yeah,
funny
nice.
that he goes from Memphis to Portland and then back to like St. Louis. Like, I think that'd be a funny storyline, but that'd be awesome though. I think a basketball team would be great here.
Do you think St. Louis would embrace it, or do you think we would get a situation where people show up
say
because
that
it's
one more
shiny
time.
and new? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, sorry. It was lagging a little bit. You're good now.
Would you think it'd be a situation though where it's shiny and new for the first 4 years, and then if there's any lack in quality, because we've seen that across all our sports so far, the new sports
Yeah.
that come up, is that can we continuously have 95% capacity filled? And the NBA season's
think-
long.
I think maybe you could with a passionate owner, like it seems like this guy could be, and they're constantly advertising it, and hopefully the play is on that level. Then yeah, I think it definitely could be.
But do you think St. Louis is okay with them just being the Trailblazers? Like, do you think they would have to change up, like, the design or the look or, like, the feel? I feel like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
You can stay
Yeah,
a little bit to your
maybe.
roots, but I feel like St. Louis really wants their teams to feel like St. Louis.
Yeah.
I think we learned that from the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that not going over too well. And I don't think
Oh, go ahead.
I don't
Sorry.
think a renovation for their would be bad at all. They don't really have anything stand out like jerseys or
Yeah, I don't really think of anything from the Trailblazers besides their
nothing really
logo.
comes to mind.
Yeah. But again, I have not been paying attention to like regular season shit when it comes to NBA. Sean, what do you think about if an NBA team did come here, how would it look?
How would it look?
Yeah, not should it or should it not? How would it look if it did come here?
Profitable. The more I think about it, as a second location or second utilization of Enterprise Center, Enterprise Center is a blank slate enough for another team to just walk in.
I think it has to be Enterprise Center.
Yeah,
it would
to
be.
kind of they would be able to walk in and then change like half the stores that they do have, or like split up the like main merchandise stores to be both Blues and whatever that NBA team is. And it seems very logical to me. I can see it being accepted. I can see a lot of people wanting that, because you also have to think about people who are fans of SLU as well and wanting something bigger or that bigger attraction probably to go and see.
Yeah.
So that's my thinking on it for like just off the cuff and whatnot.
What about
I
the
mean, like,
statues in front of Enterprise Center? How you split them up between the Trailblazers and the Blues?
you could put them on the other side if the Trailblazers just like get that generational talent, because that's kind of what they have at Staples Center. What's really weird about that is I'm pretty sure Staples Center is the one for the Warriors. Am I right or no?
Uh,
I think Staples is the Lakers.
Yeah,
it?
Staples.
Okay.
no, I think it's the Clippers, isn't it? The Lakers and the Kings. The Lakers and the Kings share a stadium. I know that.
Okay,
No,
if it is the Lakers, I'm pretty because the Kings have statues outside of
I think it's the Clippers, right?
I thought the Lakers and Clippers shared, and the Clippers just built one, like a new place.
Well, that could be it.
Last year.
The Lakers and the Kings of hockey still
Well,
share.
now it's Crypto
Oh.
Arena. It's
Oh, yeah,
Oh yeah,
Crypto
Crypto
Yeah, it is,
Arena.
yeah.
Damn it.
And let me see.
Is the
So
Warriors still
it's the Lakers and the Kings, and then the Sparks, the WNBA team that all share that
Yeah.
stadium.
And if LA is the example to go off that with the Kings and the Lakers, I think it's possible. I mean, they share banners too and whatnot, which is kind of funny whenever you look at it.
Yeah, I've been
So-
there firsthand. It seemed to work pretty well. But if I usually think if you share a stadium though, so the inside of the stadium's got to be generic enough, but also true enough to like the culture of the teams. But the outside's got to be big pimping.
Yeah.
Because if crypto, whatever it's called, crypto now. If crypto didn't have that cool section on the outside, like when I went there around Christmas, there was a giant Christmas tree and stuff. I feel like it would be too generic. They just blow up we'll just blow up Stiefel Theater.
Well,
and
doesn't
put, like,
Boston
a play pit
Bo-
from like McDonald's over there?
Boston shares a stadium, don't they? With
Yeah, they also share that, and they have that
Celtics.
awesome statue. You know, I don't want to say awesome because of where it comes from, but the Bobby Orr statue and whatnot. That's outside of it and all that. So I don't know. I think it's overthinking it at the end of the day. You can share the glory as long as it's helping St. Louis get on the map. I think that's where my opinion stands at the end of the day.
Yeah. Brendan, what about you then?
I'm pretty much 100% with Sean. I don't think you need to build an arena at all, because you have Enterprise, and that article I have goes into a little bit more how that would work. But
We could put him at the Dome.
Empty.
Yeah.
no, but
Oh wait, actually, how would the convention center of the Dome work? Do you think they can make space for that or like expand it even more down?
Like put in there?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be a nightmare.
well, I think
That'd be such a bad move.
I think the one thing that I'll say too is the fact that Enterprise Center exists and is capable of hosting an NBA team. It makes it even more profitable for St. Louis.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they don't have to build an arena. They don't have to do anything crazy. They literally just move right in one season, and they could start right away.
And I could say now that you brought that up, the Blues own that stadium, right?
They do.
It's not like a city stadium.
It's not no, it definitely is not a city stadium because that was a big deal of like, you know how Missouri is with like state tax of like we don't want to be paying for stadiums unless your name's the Chiefs, but that's a different story.
Yeah. So with going with that though, it's like not that the Blues would ever go anywhere unless it was like an apocalyptic situation, but you get a tenant to help you pay for your rent and stuff. Like the Blues could actually have a lot of money under their belt and really invest that into our hockey franchise too. Like that's probably the best thing. That would be the best thing about an NBA team coming.
Not just the fact that it's another professional sports league. That's what
no,
I
not.
think
I don't even think that's a big deal.
I think that's a massive deal.
No. St.
That's a huge
Louis St. Louis has like every freaking sport now. We're only like the 30 like biggest city.
I mean, yeah, but I guess Mason's the one avoiding this answer. So Mason, how do you feel so far?
And
by the way,
real quick, get an NBA team or
real quick, just to add on top of that, the NCAA does come. The NCAA basketball does go through Enterprise as well, so it's not something new to them.
So they could adapt it to basketball.
Yeah, they could very easily adapt. Oh, by the way, the owner is City of St. Louis.
Oh, it is. I thought it was Blue Zone.
Oh, St. Louis owns it.
Yeah, the operators are SLB Acquisitions Holding, which I think is basically Tom Stillman's like ownership group and whatnot, who's the owner of the Blues, but the city does own the arena.
I wonder if that happened when they did all the renovations.
I think it. I don't know because I think it does go back all the way to like whenever they used to have the St. Louis Arena, which is where that was off of Kings Highway way back in the day and whatnot. I don't know if that's just the city coming out and being like, hey, if you destroy this old piece of shit Checker Dome, we'll give you a new one downtown.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look into the history of it, but.
So are you wanting if I want a basketball team or if we should have one?
I want to know if you want one. It should have. I want both.
I absolutely want a basketball team. That'd be sick. I saw the Kings play, like I said, in Lakers Stadium. When you realize how big, because I work at Chaffetz, and those stadiums, like, they're pretty cool, but the NBA stadiums are like, yeah, they're big stadiums, so they can fit a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of bad seats in there where you can barely see anything. But if you go to like a Pelicans game, you can see whatever. But so I think that's cool. The experience is fun. Basketball, it has for people that like to go to baseball games. I feel like they would enjoy basketball games too because you don't have to pay attention that much. The games are decided like at the end usually, and like. There's a lot of people that'll just go to a baseball game and be on their phone and chat and enjoy the atmosphere or whatever and have the stadium experience and then also get a little bit of sports on the side. I think a lot of people would benefit from that at a basketball game. So casuals would come in. It would be really good. St. Louis is a sports city. Everyone here that cares about sports like is going to adapt every sports team that we have come along, even if it's a sport they don't watch. And that could be what gets them into it. Should we have a basketball team? No.
That's wild of you.
We can't handle it.
we get too rowdy. What does that mean?
We literally can't handle it. We could not. Our city is not big enough, and I don't think there's enough love for basketball here.
No, I mean, I definitely think there is. Again, if you look at what like SLU's done, and even with like where Jeff's
but those
at,
games
Jeffrey's
don't sell
at,
out.
too.
And we just had a team that went far and it took it to Michigan and then fell apart at the end. And those didn't really have too many people showing up. And we had like
It's because it's
Kareem
not.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Are there not
Yeah, but
SLU
people
is
use the Battlehawks as a reason we should get a football team. It's the same difference. Like, and that's true if you show up like the whole time and like could fill out the stadium, then that's a good advocate.
Is SLU a NCAA team?
No.
No,
And that's why. There's just not. I don't think there's that.
So you
college
say
gets enough funding.
People only care about Major League Sports then?
They only care about the name brand at times, with the exception of, and here's what, like, this is where you and I will probably differ on it, is with the UFL being in St. Louis, that's because it's that's because it is fully funded by the fuel of resentment towards the NFL until an NFL team does decide to show up. Because
that is not fully fueled by not having an NFL team.
I think it's
no,
pretty
it is
much
not.
like 95% fueled.
That Kroenke shit is done. People cringe when people are like saying that now.
Until you and I go to a UFL game and I don't see those shitty shirts being sold,
No, they're always gonna do that.
Because it's fueled.
We still cry about the Cardinals leaving.
The who? The
Arizona Cardinals, yeah.
Arizona Cardinals.
I like how Frank's like, what?
Well, I figured. Well, I've never heard about people being mad about the Cardinals leave. It's all about the Rams.
Oh, that was huge.
The Cardinals were that was years
I mean, it was the
ago.
same
That's
thing,
decades
too.
ago.
That was huge.
It was huge
to
for
older
the time.
Yeah, because no one younger was old enough to witness it.
Yeah, we had the Rams for that. Duh.
Okay, to fight your point about how we can't handle it, I think
we can't even handle when the Blues, Battlehawks, and Cardinals play at the same time.
I don't know. Brent and I handled it pretty well.
I think it can be handled because, like, NBA is one of those leagues that has so much star power. Like, there's not many leagues in sports that have the star power the NBA carries.
NBA, you mean basically what you mean is NBA players' branding is bigger
Yes.
than the NBA itself
Yes,
at times.
it is.
But
It
that's
is.
like a counter argument though, is that if we don't have a big star, people aren't going to care as much.
We're going to that. We would. I mean,
So we would always have to. So what you're saying then is that we always have to have an owner that's heavily invested into
if
making us the
Shafix
best
is
team.
involved in it, I don't see why he wouldn't be. I mean, he's a massive St. Louis sports, and especially.
And his name is
basketball.
Dick.
Well, we'll also find out too to see how Portland does in the next.
That is
few
true.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be down years. I mean, NBA has a problem with its league overall with tanking and having super teams. But I think whenever St. Louis would have that shot what if we had an NBA team, I think it would be on par with some of the other franchises in the city with some of their best years. And also you're looking at another demographic of people where they don't they watch football and stuff, but baseball is kind of a certain niche sport at times with certain people. And then there's the whole MLS thing, which is all this cult following of people who like soccer, and some people who like soccer but they hate MLS. NBA is a lot more wide range accepted and mainstream. I mean, look at ESPN. That's all they market on there is
That and now
NBA.
wrestling.
Well, ESPN's a terrible platform.
Yeah.
And no
It
one
is a terrible platform, but there's a lot of casual fans. NBA is filled with a lot of casual fans, which brings in money, which would just in return allow St. Louis to grow even more. And talk about the things that we talked about on and off this podcast of how St. Louis can benefit from more tax dollars, and another team of that size and that kind of league, it's massive for the city.
So
and
you
region.
guys think that all of our teams would be well attended with all
If they're
with
competing,
5 sports
yes.
going on?
We had that with
Well,
the
see, but
Rams,
you can't
though.
have that because as soon as you stop competing, the team leaves.
We had it with the Rams. We've had NBA teams.
I mean,
Yeah,
here's
way
a,
long ago. No one cares about that. Like the
Here's a
Arizona
better
Cardinals.
Here's the better question with it. And Brendan might know this better, just historian-wise, with the Cardinals, is what were the Cardinals doing between 95 to 2005? What would you say the state of the Cardinals were at that point?
It was pretty bad, but until 2004, and
Right.
But then you had Mark McGuire come up, which was a superstar, but the team was bad.
And then in 95 to 05, during the first half of this decade that I'm specifically trying to timestamp with it, the Blues had all their greats of the 90s, and then they go into the tanks afterwards, where after I think it was 04, and then the lockout in 06 and whatnot, where they were shit, right? Or no, 05, where there was a lockdown or lockout. And in the midst of that, the Rams won a Super Bowl and then went to another one to see the start of Tom Brady's career, pretty much, right? So even with these ebbs and flows, the city still carries on and supports each sport in their own way. And
That's why the Rams are still here.
yeah. But here's a better example of this. MLS has only been in St. Louis for three years, right? 3 or 4 years. We're just now
Attendance is
seeing.
going down.
Well, we're just now seeing, at least in my point of view, and I don't know if you feel the same way, where I'm going to games, you're going to games now, because the white collar pricing of it is coming down, partially that being the issue. But even with City having that amazing first year and then that year or two in between where they're shit, and then now they're still in this playoff hunt, you and I aren't invested into it. Or at least everyone that we're paying more attention to this because it is a competitive product. Regardless of those 2 years past, it still shows that it's going to be sustainable either way.
Winning
We've
gives
never had
attention.
this many sports in one at one time, and I think one of them is going to falter.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, St. Louis is a sports city. People will find ways. If the team's winning, they will find ways.
If the teams are winning, people will find ways. But if they're not, if they're just mediocre,
That's going to
people stop
happen,
showing
though.
up.
It's bound and flows. I mean, look
Yeah, but
at
the city's not
every
big
city.
enough. That city's not big enough, though.
All right.
To hold it.
All right, let me
If
get
we're
into this
to look at
article.
another example, if we're to
I'll
look
get
at
an
another
article
example of
too after
this, Look at Minnesota St. Paul. What the fuck has any Minnesota team done lately? They still have all their major sports, though.
How big is Minneapolis?
Well, Minneapolis and St. Paul is like the Twin Cities, so it's kind of more regional group and stuff.
So it's a lot.
At least 5. I know at least 5 people that are there. And a hockey team.
Okay, so Minneapolis, St. Paul, like those 2 major cities, concises of 3.69 million people. If we talk about the St. Louis region, like this is not just city, obviously, but like
Yeah,
the
so you're
region.
talking about St. Charles County, and St. Charles County.
No,
is not
I don't
We'll
know.
even keep it
This is just St. Louis. This is just St. Louis County.
All right.
That's all this counts for.
You're gonna say
2.8 million.
2.7. Yeah.
2.8 million, and that's not even
Okay.
including like Jefferson County, Franklin County, St. Charles County, Lincoln County. Like there's a lot around there of like people that could watch these teams. And again, like even if not every St. Louisan is gonna watch every single team, that's not the point. But there's still like, I think the one thing I want to get into with this article is what each region is versus like what some regions that have NBA teams versus St. Louis. So the ones they have listed here are Memphis, which is, and this is like, this goes with their amount of money that they make per year and then what their population is. So with Memphis, they're 1.34 million, and then the NBA team revenue is 305 million. I think this is monthly. I don't know what this is.
And that's their only sport. That's their only
I actually don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't know what the values are because I feel like that's so low for a year.
I actually don't know these
The
numbers.
value doesn't even matter to me though because that's their only sport.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's the possible NBA revenue for the city. I see it now. Possible revenue for the city. So Memphis, 1.34 million, $305 million in revenue. Oklahoma City is 1.51 million, 357 million in revenue. And then Salt Lake City, 1.3 million and 348 million in revenue. So if you add a St. Louis team to that with 2.81, then you're looking at a significant increase in revenue for the city.
You just brought up a bunch of cities that have no other sports in them.
Yeah, but that's addition because that's how they measure.
It wouldn't just be an
the revenue.
addition though; it would get taken away from some other sport.
I don't think so. I don't think it would get taken
I think
away.
so. I've seen it like years and years in the past, especially with the Battlehawks being here too. Everyone's always like, for anything, they're like, oh, there was a Cardinals game going on at this time, or there was a Blues game. I had to choose which one. So then, where was everyone else that wanted to show up that enjoyed football, or people that wanted to show up and see baseball? But then they wanted to go see hockey. Like there's not enough people going downtown.
Well, there won't be to be fair, there won't be a Blues and NBA team happening at the same time in St. Louis because they're going to share an arena.
That is true. That's a good point.
If they did that, though, because a lot of sports nowadays want you to like bend or take off your pants and let them hit you from the back.
What?
Which is another reason why I think that St. Louis might not get a stadium or get a team. These major sports leagues want the cities to front all the money, and St. Louis isn't going to do that anymore.
Well, Missouri's not doing that anymore.
Well, they're not. They don't need to front money because they have Enterprise.
If the Trailblazers are okay with going
now
to Enterprise,
now we have to get agreements. That's going to lead to my next point. So this is what's made it speed up, like actual talks about it, not just that's happened, but U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt said that the Blues would welcome a tenant at Enterprise Center, which was kind of random because he's not a part of the Blues, so it's kind of weird how he just came out and said that. And then,
well, I mean, he represents the city, and the city owns the arena, so.
Well, then they reached out to this KMOV article that I mentioned earlier. They reached out to the Blues, and the Blues said that they would accommodate and accept a second tenant, but they've not had any serious inquiries yet about it. But the Blues are willing to accommodate for it.
Don't want to come to St. Louis.
It just started. and then there was a there was an interview with Kara Spencer on 101 ESPN today, and she was saying how she had that when there's any if they ever had like any talks about that happening and like with what's going on in Portland, they will do their effort to try to drive them to come here because it's revenue for the city. So we have
I would never
multiple
turn down revenue.
politicians. Well, yeah, we have multiple politicians agreeing to it. We have the owner and Chaffetz, like, who's expressly said that he
He's
wants
just
to
said
bring
he
basketball.
wants to. It doesn't mean he's going to. Stan Kroenke wanted to do that too, and he left.
Okay, but Stan Kroenke came in from the outside. This guy is built within.
Stan Kroenke's from
Yeah, but
Missouri.
he wasn't like when he came into the ownership of the Rams, he wasn't a part of that franchise moving to St. Louis. He was a completely separate entity. And yes, he's from St. Louis, but he wanted the money, so it went to LA.
Oh yeah, I forget about that because I can't remember that the original
was that
owners
one
of the Rams.
woman.
It was that one, yeah, the one woman who was
Georgia
like
Frontier.
really adamant about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my thing with NBA, I think the one thing I'll say that I don't think will happen, why this won't happen, is those other teams that I listed, where like those are very close proximity to St. Louis, and there's not many franchises in other leagues that are like that close to St. Louis. Like even you have the Pacers, you have Memphis, you have Oklahoma City. Like those three teams are very close. Not to mention like Chicago as well. So you have like that competition. I don't know if the owners of those teams, like I'm sure if they were to do any sort of like expansion talk or any sort of relocation, those owners might not approve it because it's going to impact their revenue from those other franchises.
I just realized best case situation. So St. Louisans love the Chiefs. Kansas City can get a basketball team, and we'll
I don't
support
want.
them.
No,
Right?
I don't
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah,
I do
because they
not
don't have
want
one,
that.
and they just lost their football team. If Kansas City gets a basketball team, St. Louis will support them.
And then Kansas City will
And
make
it's
us pay
for
for it.
Missouri too. It's over Missouri's like.
It's not for
state
St.
tax.
Louis though.
But
We're
it's
for
for
St.
Missouri
Louis.
state tax.
We're
I'm
behind the
supporting
loop.
Missouri.
Hey,
Damn it.
we're behind the loop. We're behind a fucking arch, not some shitty riverfront.
The arch has two sides. You can be behind either side of it.
What?
Yeah. So pick the right side to be on.
The right side's on the east. We're on the left.
We're left. No, I do not want that.
West.
Jeff, you want
That'd
Kansas
be
City?
that would be worst case scenario if like I think if an expansion team goes to Kansas City, I think that's worse for St. Louis because if any franchise is gonna pick a state in Missouri, I would want it to 100% always be St. Louis. Like that.
Would you
That
rather
is
have an
that
NBA team or an NFL team?
NFL.
Why not both?
But I'll take
I
both.
would 100% take an NBA team over an NFL team.
How about both?
no,
we
I
can
would
have
still-
both,
There you
guys.
go. See, you're gonna make so much more money in the NFL.
I would still prefer an NFL team, but if it's like if it's more likely I have to wait like 40 years for an NFL team, or I could get an
we're not getting a
NBA
team
team
until Super Bowl 100.
or an NBA team in like the next like 3 years, I would much rather pick the NBA team.
I think
Much,
there's a
much
better
rather.
chance we
I
get an
think I'd
NBA
agree.
team than NFL again.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. Not to mention the history of NBA in St. Louis. It's pretty rich. I didn't realize how rich it was. St. Louis actually had two different NBA franchises between 1946 and 1968. They had the St. Louis Bombers and then the Hawks.
Spirit. I thought they had the Spirits too, or something like that.
Oh yeah, we have.
I
a
think
championship.
the Spirits were a team that they were going to expand. I believe. I think it was an expansion team idea.
We've had a couple basketball teams. I'm pretty sure come through here.
Now, I do wish the Utah Jazz were willing to relocate. Could you imagine having the Blues and the Jazz at
That would be
Enterprise?
Oh, St. Louis isn't cool
That'd
enough
be
anyway
awesome.
because whenever we got our soccer team, I was one of the people that was yelling that it should be a St. Louis Rhythm, and they would not do it. They're like, no, it's going to be all for City. I'm like, okay. We don't want to ride off of the Blues coattail. I'm like, okay.
Rhythm would be kind of cool though.
It's Rhythm and Blues, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And it's at
like,
Enterprise. We renamed the Trailblazers. We can do this.
Yeah. I'll take back everything I say if the Trailblazers come as the Rhythm.
Now
So
that
you're
was
all
sick.
for the St. Louis Rhythm?
Yeah.
I'm all for a basketball team. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I like
You don't
Jeffrey
sound
like
really for
slowly calling it out too. He's like, so.
No, I think I really think that do I think it's actually going to happen? I would say no. I don't think it's going to happen. I think some way somehow Portland's going to do that. And I think with the ownerships of the different franchises being like having so many in such close proximity to St. Louis, hinders it as well. And then I think if the NBA is gonna have a team relocate, they would rather have a team be put in like Vegas or
Well, yeah, I
like
think the NBA is
Texas
already
and stuff.
That's
It's already
another reason
set
I was going to
for-
get to is there's more money in other cities. What?
I was gonna say the NBA I think is already set to within the next 2 or 3 years expand back to Seattle and Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Vegas is like a
Which-
must in every sport right now.
Yeah,
No,
I
they're
think
gonna-
the UFL even tried to do it and it did not work.
Now the thing is like, I think with like those cities though, if St. Louis is going to get a team, it's going to be relocation. It's not going to be an expansion team.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to
Yeah.
put the money, and St. Louis is not going to
For
put
sure.
up the money for that. So, because they have to find an owner and everything, and that's a whole.
I'll
ordeal.
buy it. I'm on it, guys.
But no, I think
So
like I said,
LeBron is going to go play for the St. Louis,
St. Louis
NBA
Rhythm.
expansion
Ring chasing.
Rhythm
Ring
basketball
chasing
team.
with the St. Louis Rhythm.
Yeah. If LeBron came to St. Louis, then we could do it until he retired. And then everyone would stop showing up because then LeBron would leave.
And then he'll
Stop showing
retire and then become the owner of that team and then fund it that way.
so
up.
real
LeBron
quick, I
would
wanna-
retire faster than his hairline if that happened.
I want to go through like each of you guys and think of if you guys believe it will happen or not. So we'll start with Jeffrey.
Yeah, probably not. If I had to put my money on it.
Do you think it would happen in Kansas City before St. Louis?
No. Honestly, yeah, no. Because I do agree with that. There are a bunch of other markets in the NBA right now that are super in proximity of St. Louis and the NBA.
But we're better, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, Mexico doesn't even have a team yet.
But also, I think I kind of disagree with that there are too many teams here that should be a main reason we shouldn't. Because I don't think you add an NBA team, they're not going to be like the lowest revenue out of all 5 teams.
I'm not talking about revenue. I'm just talking about attendance.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Portland's in a
attendance is
weird
definitely
spot,
going to
too.
create for the teams around.
I think
Yeah.
I think ranked wise, if there was a team, it would be the lowest Battlehawks.
That's not true.
I think it would be true. It's the lowest
No,
attendance.
the Battlehawks pull
Purely
in more
attendance?
attendance than the Cardinals
Not really.
per
You're
game
really
basis.
gonna do not argue stats with him on that.
Per game basis.
No.
Yeah.
Brennan just denying
Yeah.
that. No.
The Battlehawks, out of all the teams that are here, can pull the most fans than anyone else if like they're in their heat. The Dome holds 60,000. Does the Busch Stadium hold 60,000 people?
Did they even sell all 60,000 tickets? No.
They did. They did in 2020. They had up to
They
50,000
did
tickets
in
sold.
their
They had
entry year.
50,000 tickets sold.
In their entry year,
Yeah,
which was
totally
against
happened,
Stan
and people
Kroenke.
stopped spending
Again,
money.
because they sell tickets because of Stan Kroenke. That is it.
So
that
we shouldn't
was-
even have a UFL team.
No, I don't
We
say
actually
that.
don't like football.
We need to take him and move him to LA.
So once we get an NFL team, we're only going to have an NFL team because we hate Stan Kroenke.
No,
Right? We're only going to support our NFL team if they come to town.
I'm gonna
because
support-
it shows
I'm
Stan
gonna
Kroenke
support
should have
the
never
St.
moved
Louis
the Rams in the
teams.
first place, right?
I'm going to support the St. Louis teams, but I've
Why
said
did
this
you
on this
trigger me?
podcast before. The most fans who go to those games, they either are diehards like you, which is probably like 5%.
What's the Cardinals'
And
average
then-
attendance this season?
I can look it up for you. Hang on.
I'm going to look at my
Here we
average
go.
attendance.
Here we
Let's
go.
do this.
You just had to trigger him like this, didn't you?
Okay, Mason, I got my number. Yeah,
My
remember,
money's
these
on
are less
Cardinals.
games. These are less games for the UFL, so they should be
Oh,
drawing
I'm talking
more.
about per game basis, so you're getting a capital.
This is
of that.
this is average per game for the Cardinals for 2026 so far. Yes.
All right, what's yours?
I know. I want you to go first.
Show me yours.
23,000, down 22% from last year.
All right, the St. Louis Cardinals' average home game attendance for 2026 season is approximately 36,500 fans.
That is fucking horseshit.
What do you mean that's horseshit?
That is fucking horseshit.
What do you mean?
That's like the entire stadium full.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like
Let me
that.
look. This is on ESPN. Let me see. Okay, well, okay. I got ESPN a different total here, I think. Yeah, it's a different total. So what is your number again?
It was 22,000. This year was bad.
Okay, so St. Louis, whose
Oh.
also attendance has been bad overall, 27,762 according to ESPN.
For the storied franchise. That's leagues
In a
above
rebuild.
the Battlehawks,
Hey.
only pulling in 5,000
In a
more.
rebuild.
Hey, Brennan.
With more stars and a home run derby winner.
Hey, Brennan. I'm gonna really
Hey, there we
destroy
go.
your side of the argument right here with this
Okay.
because I looked it up. The St. Louis Blues NHL attendance was only averaging about 17,847. So
But they have a less capacity.
Still
let
less
me
attendance.
double check.
They have
It's
a
still less
lot
attendance.
less capacity. They have way less capacity. I think Enterprise only holds like 25,000.
So then
Maybe
the
even
roof
less.
is open for the Battlehawks.
Let me
Well, the
double check here.
Battlehawk, the Cardinals still have more attendance. And again, the Battlehawks play less games. They play on weekends, besides like Friday nights. And then like they play like 6 home games or something like that.
Yeah,
And
but that
then-
attendance is feasible, though.
It's feasible for a minor league team. Yes, it's very good.
18,096 devoted seats or something like that. Yeah,
That's it?
18,000 seats. Wait, hang on. The
Wow.
building seats
That's good
18,000
attendance
for
to
the
Blues.
Blues hockey and can nearly seat 22,000 for basketball and concerts.
So what? How is that breaking my argument though?
All right, so and then St. Louis City only averages 22,400 fans.
So it's pretty
So
even
by
overall.
so by attendance this year, with attendance being down, it goes Cardinals, Battlehawks, City, and then Blues.
But the Blues is not fair. I think because
How's
the
it not
Blues.
fair? They're filling. They have the entire stadium, and they don't
They're
sell
filling
out.
it up.
They're filling
Here's
it
the bigger
up.
thing with it. They're filling it up during the winter too. That's the other thing that everyone's forgetting with this
Well, there's
argument.
nothing else to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing else for St. Louisans to do in the winter.
That's why there should be an NBA team, so there's something
Yeah,
else to
go
do
to
in
an
the
NBA
winter.
game.
Yeah, you go to the NBA game.
Exactly. And then if there's no Blues game on, you could probably put on the fucking NBA game and go to a bar and watch the Trail Blazers play.
Yeah, because
No, the
St. Louis
rhythm.
watches every Cardinals game.
I do watch every Cardinals game, but
But
No,
you're
you do
diehard.
not.
I don't. But I try. I try. But no, it's just you saying that the Blues attendance is the lowest. I don't think that's fair to say because you'd have to look at the percentage per
It is fair,
capacity
then.
available.
No, that is. I would say it's fair. And like
It's
again,
fair because the Battlehawks have like an open ceiling, and if their attendance was so bad, they would downgrade to
Yeah.
the City Stadium.
But they talked about doing that.
But they're not going to because Rapoli knows that like this was like a 1-year thing because attendance was down in the entire league.
Yeah, because it's a minor league.
I didn't know minor league teams pulled 35,000 fans.
No, they don't. Because it's against Stan Kroenke.
Yeah, that's true.
Mason's gonna punch you through the screen.
Yeah.
It's
And
all
the only
for
reason
content.
people go to Cardinals games is because of the Waino, Molina, and
Yeah.
Pujol stretch.
That
How
is
about
true.
that?
That
How
is
about
a
that for you,
fact.
Brendan?
I mean, it's not wrong. Like, and they're bad right now. But I think once
So history affects every team.
I
You
never
can't move
said it
past it.
didn't. I never said it didn't. I'm not trying to argue that the Cardinals are a better franchise than the Battlehawks. I mean, they
Cardinals
are,
only-
but like, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying
I'm not trying to
say-
argue, but they
I
are.
think that's
Like I
an
know I'm
unfair
right.
comparison because the Cardinals had 100 seasons.
They had
And the
100
Battlehawks only had
games.
3.
They have 100 games per season, and that's their average. When comparing the Cardinals and Battlehawks attendance is just not fair, because it's
Yeah, it
like
is.
no, it's not because
Yes, it
baseball. I'm trying to give you an argument here, because baseball's way more casual. How many casuals go to baseball games and not even care about what's going on in the game? How many casuals who don't give a fuck about what's going on in the game go to a Battlehawks game? It's a lot less. So I'm trying to give you an argument here.
Yeah,
So it's
imagine
not
if
fair.
the casuals came to the Battlehawks and really caught on. There'd be 50,000 freaking people there.
I wouldn't disagree.
In
I
other
didn't
words,
disagree with that.
this is Mason's whole argument here is get your ass to the dome. That's all it is.
The gas in the dome don't endorse NBA.
Yeah.
I want the NBA. You started this by saying that the Battlehawks had the least attendance.
They do overall.
They don't overall. Yeah, that's not fair. You just
Compared to
Should they have-
their
so then
attendance,
let me
like
write Rapoli
availability
and see if
in
they'll
their
get
capacity of
34
the
games for
stadiums.
us.
Yes, it's less.
Then by that, the NFL has less attendance than baseball and hockey, and that's the biggest sport in the country.
What are you talking about? What
prodding
NFL
him.
team? What NFL team has less attendance than 17,000 a year, or
So if the
17,000 a game?
Cardinals-
I mean,
If the Cardinals are averaging,
I don't know, have you seen the Titans
26,000
game lately?
and there's-
I have
and there's
not.
60 games. Let's just do some math. So if an NFL stadium holds 60,000, say there's 60,000 people at a stadium, and you times that by 9, an NFL team brings in 540,000 fans. But then if you take how many home games are in baseball season?
it's 162 divided by 2.
So
So
81
yeah,
times 26,000. Yeah, and so baseball brings in 2,106,000, which means it's well more attended and more profitable than the NFL.
what do you mean 2 million fans? Like there's
2 million.
Well, there's teams that have, like the Cardinals in the past, have had over 3 million fans a year.
I'm just
Like
saying, if the average this year is 26,000 and over 81 games, it would be 2,106,000 attendance.
Okay, I see what you're
which
saying.
is more than the majority of NFL seasons with 9 game home schedule.
because they have more games.
But the stadium holds more people.
okay, but
I just don't.
there's
I just
less
don't think,
games.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So the MLB's not gonna have as many fans. Like it's not gonna be as profitable or like a better. It's gonna have a more attendance total number because there's more opportunities for them to fill up the stadium compared to NFL or UFL or whoever you want to compare it to. So, but like the
So
average.
you're just saying that the attendance is the lowest because of the actual numbers they're bringing in. Whenever I talk about attendance, I'm talking about attendance across the board, how well you can attend all teams at the same time.
I've lost the point of this argument for a while.
Jeffrey,
I'm just arguing,
Jeffrey, what do you
arguing.
think? How do you feel about Battlehawks?
Yeah.
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey's also UFL tailgater with us and whatnot.
Yeah, I wasn't able to go to many this year, but yeah, I could
You
definitely.
didn't go to
tell
any
you.
of them, I don't think.
No, he went
I
to
went
a
to
few.
one. I think
Oh, I
went
thought you went to
one.
2.
Maybe I might have went to 2. But I could definitely like see a drop off just from like looking around from like those first two.
Well, attendance is down for like every sport. I think it's because of the economy.
Yeah, I couldn't really like. I don't know the numbers behind it, but like just from like kind of vibes, it definitely felt lower.
This year felt different. Sean said the NBA segment wasn't going to go more than 25 minutes, and we're an
You guys
hour
all
in.
went. I made a very big point that we shouldn't.
I told
divert
you
from
this
what
was
our
gonna
schedule
go
was.
crazy.
No, you went off the deep
No.
end with Brendan on the whole fucking attendance talk.
It relates.
That
to
was
it,
like
though.
6 minutes. It was already at
The
50
fucking
minutes.
was 6 minutes.
Pull it up, YouTube. Pull it up.
God, we're all angry now. Anyways, we're gonna move on to our next topics.
And I'm gonna stay angry because fuck
Yeah.
the Cardinals.
Yeah.
City wins 1-0.
Yes, St. Louis City wins 1-0. It was a great game. Mason and I went to it because Brendan didn't know how to clean his room and do laundry. And it was really nice to actually see a game like that and feel the energy within the city, within Energizer Park, actually. On a real note, it was a lot of fun. That game was awesome to go to.
It was frustrating because City couldn't score even though they were up by 2 men.
Yeah, because Colorado had
Colorado had
red
two
cards.
red cards and multiple yellows, and we couldn't get a goal until the end with Ostrak, whatever his name was, who had like the bender of the week. I think it got voted like goal of the match day. It was a pretty sick goal. And we actually had another goal too.
Yeah.
We got called back, I think, for offsides. I was
While
busy
we were-
buying a jersey, but yeah, it was fun. But man, was it frustrating because I don't know if this team's offense is stinky or like Colorado's defense is good, because that should have been a spanking. Like we had
Yeah.
we had the ball the whole time, I mean, it felt like the Spain and Argentina game, where it was like Spain was giving it to Argentina the whole time,
Yeah.
but Argentina couldn't do anything. And then and of course, they won by 1 goal. This one just didn't go to extra time, but uh, it was frustrating, and the score doesn't really depict how much we beat up on them. It's just sad that we couldn't score more, and I think that puts us. I think we're in a wild card spot too.
Yeah, I think I remember. I'd have to look at the standings, but I think we're at like 22 points, and there's like a good amount of matches left. But honestly, if they can just stay consistent with, you know, the grindstone of just playing each match and just being competitive, that's like that is the biggest thing that's brought me into City this year. Is that they feel so much more competitive, and it's like there's more passion behind it, and I love it. Because, after like the past couple seasons and whatnot, you've seen, everyone from the inaugural season, except for like Berkey leave or whatnot. And it's been really disheartening to think about like no one wanting to be here and stick out with the process, and everyone, leaving to go to different clubs and everything. But there's something with what's going on right now, because a 4-game winning streak is just absolutely bonkers to think about, especially with how they started off this year.
After the World Cup too, it's a great time to start.
Yeah.
But I think this team needed to go back to like grassroots though. Like we came out of the gate way too hot. I didn't think it was ever sustainable. It was kind of some of the like magic stuff where when like the Vegas Golden Knights became a team, they were like really successful off the rip. They managed to do it better than City has, but whenever usually expansion team starts out really good, it usually comes crashing down.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that they're kind of bound in step again, a little bit. I'm not going to go the distance to say they're doing great again, because we said
but
that
it's
about
important.
the Cardinals,
It's important not to
now.
fall into irrelevancy and whatnot. I mean, we're seeing that in NHL talk with the Seattle Kraken. Who the fuck is talking about the Kraken right now? Like,
Yeah,
they've
the
had only
Kraken's not
one
cool anymore.
post. Yeah. They've only had the one season where they went into playoffs the year after their inaugural season, but after that, it's just been disappointment after disappointment and not enough like development or forward progress, and they're falling into that ambiguity is like what the Arizona Cardinals did, or not Arizona Cardinals, the Arizona Coyotes did.
Coyotes. Yeah, so I just think, City, we just keep holding our breath because I'm just worried about the imminent shipwreck, especially after what I just saw. We escaped that game without a red card, which was good.
Yeah.
Because those carry over. And we have the momentum right now, and we can like snake up and actually get good seeding if we. I think they play. I don't know how long they play. October. I think the championship's in October. I could be wrong.
I think it is.
That sounds about right. Either way, Happy City's doing well.
December or November. Damn.
Oh my God, it's
I didn't realize
football
it was that
season.
late.
It's every week, Brennan. You say that every single time.
Oh,
They're making up steam though from the World Cup though. They've been playing 2 games a week. It's kind of fun,
Yeah.
and it's helping us because we're winning from it.
yeah.
You know who's not winning is the Cardinals.
Yeah. How do you guys prefer your Cardinals? Washed or cooked?
Well done for sure. Because they are cooked, man. I mean, this has been awful. So when we did our last episode, we talked about how that Diamondback series had one of the worst losses, and then they had that Angels game that they blew by, hitting a guy with the bases loaded to walk in a run. It didn't get better after that. That next game against the Angels, we lost 5-1. And then Wednesday, that day game, we somehow made it out alive with a win, but it was only 1-0. And then Thursday, we played that random makeup game with the Diamondbacks, lost 10-6.
I didn't know it was that bad.
And then it was like 10-2 until the 9th inning, and then we decided to score 4 runs. And then we played the Reds on Friday, lost 4-2. And Saturday, we just came alive and won 7-0. And I thought, okay, maybe they're turning a corner. Well, then they lost 5-3 on
Turns
Sunday.
out they turned into the corner.
Yeah, and then now they're starting a 4-game series at home against the Cubs. which is happening right now at the top of the 5th inning.
What's the score?
Cubs 5-1.
Mm.
It's just been it's been disastrous, and I think it's safe to say that the season's over. When it regards of like possibly buying at the deadline, I think like the deadline is next week, which we're gonna have a big deadline episode for to talk about the moves that they make. But I mean, I don't know where they go from here. Like
I heard we have a 17% chance to make the playoffs.
yeah, it was like up to 40 or 50, and now it's down to, I think I saw today it was like 14% according to Fangraphs.
So let me ask you this, Brennan. What the fuck happened?
I think their luck just kind of ran out. I think their bullpen's what really made them fall apart. It's been bad all year, and now that the starting pitching hasn't been as good as it was, and our offense has been awful. Like our offense since beginning of May has been the worst in the league in terms of slugging percentage, amount of home runs, and batting average overall. And WRC plus, it's been the worst in baseball. So when you have an offense that's not performing, you have a bullpen that blows games. So when the offensive pitching does well, the bullpen just never fails to like blow the lead. And it's
We need
even gonna
Carlos
get worse.
Martinez.
Please don't bring that name up ever again. But
I think I brought it up last time.
you did, and that's why I'm like horrified.
Maybe that's what you need. You need, sometimes whenever you do something just like as a curveball.
We have Ryan
Unintended.
Stanek. I think that's enough. But I think
Ron DeSantis?
Ryan
Yeah,
Stanek.
they brought DeSantis.
But I think, with this trade deadline, I think this team could get even worse. Like, you talk about trading away guys like especially in your bullpen. If you trade like Romero's hurt for like a month, has appendicitis, and I don't know if he's even have any value. So I don't know if he's gonna get moved. But then you look at like Ryan Stanek, he's probably gonna be moved for something. And then possibly Riley O'Brien moved. I mean, I know he's been bad, but he's your best reliever. I've heard talks of Soriano being traded as well, which I probably wouldn't do that because like I was saying earlier, you really like need to have like guys who can throw because there's no one in the bullpen like in AAA that they can call up on. So they probably need to add bullpen arms just to get them through the season. If they luck out on them, they luck out on them. But then you look at guys like Nootbaar who could be traded. And I think one name that's been coming up a lot that I wanted to hear like your guys' opinion on is Ivan Herrera has been coming up in possible sell high value on with Burleson as well. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. I know Sean Burleson's one of your favorite players right now. So
I'm gonna think on that for a minute.
You think there's more worth in Herrera than Nootbaar?
Oh yeah. You can get
I
a
think
haul
so,
for
too.
Herrera right now.
I wouldn't be opposed to shipping off.
So the art.
I was just gonna say one of those two.
What? Yeah,
Should
I
be.
kind of agree. I wouldn't be against it because you look at Herrera overall, like he's a great bat, and I think his year he was an all-star this year, but I think he has way more in the tank for him. But I think just with what he is as a hitter, I think he's no more than a DH, and with him just being a DH and not providing value at the catcher role, like defensively, especially like with how he can't throw out runners at all. I think that he is a very big sell high candidate, but I don't know if I would do that because I think Herrera and Burleson are part of your core for your next championship run.
Yeah.
I really do. And
Man.
I think it like if you're like Heim said when he's coming in, you're gonna have to make tough decisions that people aren't gonna like. And I think this is kind of falls in that line of
So-
is it a move that you make? I mean, if the offer's insane, you might have to take it for one of those guys.
Are you asking me which one would I prefer to see be shipped out?
Which one would you keep?
Which one would I keep?
Probably Herrera.
I would say Herrera, but
Yeah.
that's I'm looking at it purely just from an age standpoint too, because you still have 2 more years with him compared to Burleson. Well, I guess like a year and a half and
I think
whatnot.
Burleson-
Fuck, they're really close in age too.
I think
Damn.
Burleson has, because he made his debut in 2022, but it was late. I think he still has like 2 more years. Let me double check that while you talk about it.
Well, it's just like too is like who then comes in at first base with it as
Herrera.
well. So Herrera would move to first base.
That's what I would do. Yes.
Okay.
So Burleson starts arbitration next year. He has 2 years of arbitration, and then he's a free agent. And then let me check Herrera here. I believe he's 3 years. He's like the exact same. It looks like.
Okay.
He starts arbitration next year, which the other element to this is the new CBA with the lockout could potentially lower that a year.
Yeah. I think I would do Herrera then.
Trade Herrera.
You
Yeah,
would do him?
I would do him.
Jeffrey, what are your thoughts? I know you're a pretty big Cardinal fan.
Yeah, I think I would. I wouldn't be opposed to
Doing him?
trading. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to
Ivana
trading
do him.
away Burleson with the intention of like moving Herrera to first, just because I don't think he is a catcher like long term.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think he overall though is a better bet if I had to pick between the two.
What about Jose Fermin? He could be our catcher.
No, I think Burleson's the guy I would move, because I think Herrera he's your longest tenured Cardinal at this point, like in the organization. He's been with the organization since he was 16 years old, and when he was picked as an international free agent, and like I think it was 2018. So he's like the entire Cardinals organization. He's been with the Cardinals the longest, and I
He's on
think
Burleson, right?
no Herrera.
Oh,
Burleson
He's been
was
with us
drafted
that
out of
long?
college. Yeah. Herrera was 16 years old when he was drafted in 2018 in the international draft. Burleson got drafted in 2020, the same draft with Mason Wynn and Jordan Walker. Which was a crazy draft if you look back on it to get those 3 guys. But anyway, like I think Herrera could slide right into first base really well. I think how I would handle it is if you trade Burleson, like I would not like to do that. I think he's an extension candidate, but if you can get a haul for him, like if you're talking about the next piece to your championship core, then that's the easiest move. Because I mean, like what Jeffrey was saying, Herrera's not your catcher long term. There's Raniel Rodriguez in Double-A, and there's Lionel Bernal in Triple-A, and there's Jimmy Crooks, who's up right now, and then there's Pedro Pais. Like you have so many catcher depth options that I think defensively are just way better than Herrera. I think Rodriguez is the end game catcher. I think he's the next Yachty in terms of like face of franchise level of what he could be. But you know he's still so young. You don't know what it's gonna look like. But I would not. I would put the chances of them trading either one of those guys probably like around like 30 to 40%. I don't think it's likely, but I can definitely see them doing it.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of people doing it here.
I still think
yeah.
Newbar is the next one to go.
Newbar is
Yeah.
gonna probably
He has to be the one with like just straight up foot out the door already and just looking at where he's going. He's probably going to LA.
No, I think he's gonna be a Yankee now
Ooh.
because
That's
Cody
been a
Bellinger
pipeline.
just got hurt, and I'll tell you what, Newbar with Aaron Judge in a lineup could be kind of gross.
Scary.
Like
Until
in the
Newbar gets
playoffs.
injured.
Or Aaron Judge gets hurt.
Yeah.
But though Cody
Yeah, until
Bellinger's
Joel
out for like
Embiid
6
gets hurt.
weeks.
LeBron's gonna go there.
Yeah.
I think Newbar the Yankees would be such a crazy fit. Like it works out really well for them. And I don't know like what we get in return. I don't think you get a lot for Newbar, to be honest. Which is why I almost wouldn't be surprised if they don't trade him at the deadline and wait till the offseason to do that. But I think the guys that are out the door right now, like my final prediction, I think Dustin May's gone. He's the one that's for sure gone. I think Riley O'Brien's gone. Ryan Stanek, and you know, I'm actually gonna say I think Burleson's gone. I think they do it.
Okay.
I think they're gonna do it. Gonna do them.
I think they're
There's
gonna
a lot
trade
of
for Goldschmidt.
Oh God.
Yeah, what if we
Don't
traded for
say
like
that.
Nolan Arenado? Actually, since we might need a catcher. Can we get Wilson Contreras?
Yeah, I kind of think Matt
Please.
Carpenter would fit in pretty well with our team.
Please bring me back Wilson Contreras.
He's just killing it for Boston right now.
I miss Wilson Contreras so bad.
Yeah, he was a monster, and it just sucks. But
I know.
I think the one thing, if you trade Burleson, I think you have to get
Tommy Pham.
Dude, shut up! My God,
You have to. This is what everyone's been saying.
Dexter Fowler, Tommy Pham.
We
and,
traded Tommy Edman for Eric Fetty and
David
Tommy
H.
Yeah.
That was a disgusting trade. But anyway, no, I think if you're gonna trade like any one of those like core guys, you need to get a cornerstone third baseman like prospect. I don't know who that is. I don't know what that looks like, but
Michael Walker.
if you can get pitching and a third baseman, dude, you guys are so fucking annoying. Just naming off names, just randomly.
Yeah, Michael Walker.
They trade away Dustin May. Who you think gets that last starting spot?
I think
Justin
it's
June.
I think
Pretty good joke.
I think
good
it's
joke.
I think Hunter Dobbins he's up right now. I think he takes the role because he's already on the big league team, and I think they send Matthew Liberatore to the bullpen eventually and call up Quinn Matthews. I think that's the plan for the rotation, which I think is a very good rotation. I think you can replace Dustin Mays. I don't think the rotation is going to be the problem of this team at the end of the year. It's going to be all relying on what the offense can do, and especially the bullpen. Because I still think we're not out of the race. You can still sell and get players in, and you could still go on a run and make this. Like, no one's running away with that last wild card spot. So it's still possible, but I'm okay with selling at this point. Like, I know, like, early on in the podcast, I was saying you need to buy, and now I look like an idiot. So it's okay with me.
Would you rather the Cardinals make a playoff push or we get an NBA team?
NBA team, because I think the Cardinals.
But the Cardinals don't go back to the playoffs till like 2035.
But when do we get the NBA team, and how good are they?
We'll get the NBA team.
We don't know how good they are. We don't know how good they are.
No, we don't know how good.
Damn, we're gonna be huge Blues fans from 2029 to 2035.
Yeah, the dome's gonna be sold out.
Dude,
for
the dome's gonna be rocking.
Yeah, and then the Trailblazers won't have anyone in the stands because the Battlehawks.
The Broncos moved to St. Louis.
The Brankle Hawks.
Yeah, the breaking ankle Hawks.
I will be calling the Broncos the Brankle Hawks because they have a couple Battlehawks over there.
That is true. Because
St.
who
Louis
all they
has
have?
got
They have
the
a
Hawks and the Rhythm.
There's Sean Fresh and Hakeem Butler. So
yeah.
and if
That's
anyone's
where Butler went.
that's how I plan on like bringing the NFL relevant to the St. Louis part of it. And the podcast this fall is talking about all the Battlehawks that made it there, or the people from St. Louis.
There was someone who
And
went
the
to
St. Louis
Detroit,
Chiefs.
right?
From
Or was
the
that
Battlehawks?
last year?
That was
Yeah.
last year. That was
Okay. That was the running back.
Yeah, it was
guy.
the running back. God, man, I suck.
Silvers? Or am I getting that mixed up with someone else?
No. Damn it. It's Jacob Saylor.
That's who it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're already at an hour 23, so I think we could wrap it up here. But you guys have any last final thoughts about what we talked about?
I just think it's crazy that Mason thought we were going to get this done in under an hour.
Yeah. He's striking back because Sean said that we do the NBA segment in 25 minutes.
We could.
It
We
was
could.
25 minutes.
We
Yeah.
didn't, but we
We
could have.
got all like the fun, crazy bullshit at the end.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't edit any of these. I don't do any of that. I'm just talent.
Okay.
I do think if at the trade deadline, the Cardinals definitely have to trade for LeBron James.
Yeah, that would be kind of sick.
Mason, just the known Cardinal knower.
Yeah. The real insider.
Yeah. I feel like
You know,
everyone in
I won't forget it.
I'm just listing random names or saying bullshit like David Ortiz.
I won't forget it. We were in Austin, and then we were at this bar, and I was talking about the Cardinals and how like good they were doing at that time. And then Mason's like, whatever happened to like Dexter Fowler? I'm like, he's been off the team for like 5 years. I'm like, okay, that's the extent of Mason's ball knowledge. Let's just have him on a
No, I
podcast.
actually
and we
meant,
talk about
where
the
is
Cardinals. No, you
I
thought
know.
you thought he was still on the Cardinals.
I
Yeah,
might have been
then you
joking.
actually asked me about Carlos Martinez that night too.
Carlos Martinez. I said, where'd he go?
You said, where is he at these days? Is he still in the bullpen? And I'm like, I don't even want to have a conversation with this motherfucker anymore.
Yeah, and you chose me to be one of those.
Mason's coming up. He's coming up to you. He's like, "Hey, where's Scott Rowland? Do you know if he's still playing? Where's Reggie Sanders? Do you know if he's still playing?"
Jim Edmonds.
Where's Ozzie Smith these days?
Yeah.
Is he still doing backflips at shortstop?
Yeah.
No, if it was Macy's, like, is he still doing backflips in center field?
Yeah.
That's what Mason.
Yeah. I said David Ichiro is my favorite Cardinal.
Man, I wish we didn't give it. He would say, I wish we didn't give it to Matt Holliday. 2026.
Have we moved on from Holiday yet?
Yeah. I think we need to get. I think we're gonna move on from him.
All right. Well, Jeff, you got any last final thoughts?
Well, Mason, do you think Hakeem Butler is actually going to make the 53-man roster, or you think he'll be like a?
He can make their like very bottom of their like second or third string. I think there's some dude with the weird. I think Lil Jordan Humphrey or something. I think he could possibly get dropped, and they'd bring in Butler. Butler would get limited touches, but everyone sees him as literally just throw it up. He's a guy that can snag it out of the air. We saw it here in St. Louis. So wherever he goes, he'll get limited touches. But if he goes out on the field, that's all he's going to do is just jump over. He's going to moss people, which would be kind of cool. Like he's literally like a specialty player.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, though. I think he can do it. You just got to know what you're going to use him for because he's not a starter for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, it was a loaded-ass episode.
Yeah.
People doing it. An NBA team coming here in attendance.
And the Cardinals' demise.
Yeah. And we're selling.
Yeah, and the Trailblazers are going to go to Kansas City, and we're going to support them.
The fuck we are.
right,
Not on my
well.
podcast.
All right. Well,
Well, hold on, dude. How do you guys feel about Taylor and Travis's wedding?
No, I hate it. Anyways, thanks everybody. We appreciate you watching.
All right. Thanks, Jeffrey, for coming on. Make sure you like and subscribe. And comment what your thoughts are about.
Specifically just-
And comment any of your thoughts about the Trailblazers possibly coming to St. Louis. But we'll catch you guys next week, and we'll see you guys later.
Show that rage in that comments because there's some bait in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Not
want all
the right
rage. Give
ones.
us hate. All right. All right, we'll see you guys later.